Afternoon. Well, DB Motors Friday end of day roundup today. I didn't have time this morning. I had to drive over to Pickering with a bike and pick a tank up, so decided we'd get to the end of the day. I've packed most of the bikes away now. I'm just waiting for a customer to come, so I thought I'll do a quick end of day roundup. It's been a busy week. We've got the CB900 engine completely stripped down there. BMW S1000R is in for a valve clearance service. This little Triumph Thunderbird Sport has a big 4-cylinder, I think it's the 1000cc engine, this one, the one that they took out to 1200 later. I might be wrong, might be the 1200. Cooling issues. We found out the thermostat's faulty, doesn't open, and it's boiled itself a little bit. The water's got hot, the fan switch doesn't work either, which has meant the engine didn't cool at all. Fixable though. Parts to come and get that sorted. The CB1100, carbs are back on, rocker covers back on. This has been running nicely, starts easily. We're pleased with progress on that. We're doing this in the theory that we're going to get the fuel tank back very soon, I do hope. Moving on, CB750 waiting for bits to arrive. Honda RC30, looks like the VFR 400 from the front because it's the small headlamp version, New Zealand import. This is having some rejetting. The customers put a Termignoni pipe on it, which sounds ace, but it was running a little bit weak, especially at low revs. Got some new jets on order for that. They're coming in. We've had it on the dyno once, and we know roughly where we need to go with it. BMW R1250 GS, full service, valve clearance service and checks, and on Monday it's having a set of tyres and a full set of brake pads fitted. Customers heading away on this for a 3,000 mile ride soon, so we've got to prep it up for that for him. Ooh, little R100 Classic, that's just snuck in today. It is booked in to come into us to have the exhaust repaired, but in the meantime the exhaust that's on it has snapped, so the customer has asked us to fix it. He'd already had a go at it, and I've tried to improve what we've done. It's not pretty, but it works. It means he can ride it this weekend with some of his friends. ZR7, this was in last year. We overhauled it a little bit, we got it back on the road, and unfortunately it's been parked for a year since outdoors. The camera actually makes it look tidier than it is. It's in a bit of a poor state, but we'll sort it out. Just wants everything freeing off, clearing out, cleaning out, and back to normal. The Suzuki GT550, we've got one issue we're sorting out. We've got some parts to come. It's leaking oil from the sight glass there. The black line is because when we first came to it, it was nearly out of two-stroke. So we filled it up, measured it to make sure it wasn't dropping, and it wasn't. So then we filled it up to the top of the tank, and it's already gone down to there, and you can see why. It's dripping out of there. Anyway, we'll get a new sight glass for that, and we've got a Boyer Branson ignition coming through. Sorry, not Boyer Branson. Who's the company I'm trying to remember? Anyway, I've literally just ordered it. It's gone out my head. The ignition system on it is interfering with the dyno really badly. We've got some high tension spark arcing somewhere that we don't know. So we've got, spoke to the customer about it. Could be points, could be condensers. In the end he said he'd rather have a modern electronic ignition system on it anyway, so we've got a Neutronic system coming for it. Just came back to me. RD500. This is now pretty much ready. It's booked in for an MOT next week. Jetting sorted out, fueling, ignition advance all sorted out. It's doing 92-ish horsepower regularly, really nicely. I've even been for a little ride on it, and it's doing well. So, last one. My friend's RD350. This has been dyno tested. Had a little pause on it. We had to get the manufacturers of the ignition box to send us a new setting file for it. What I mean by that is, this flywheel in here, if I turn it, you might be able to see what caused us the issue. This flywheel is made by VP here. And this pulser here, I don't know if you can see it on the photo, but it's a ramp. It's got a high point at this end, and then it tails off there and just flushes back into the flywheel. A standard pickup would have a high point at this end and a solid bar and then a high point at the back, and as it passes this little metal pickup here, if I rotate it back you can see how it works. You see how that ramp edge passes that pickup? That tells the ignition unit when to fire the sparks. How it works normally, it has a front edge, and then as the back edge comes past, it triggers it front and back. Because this system, the Vape made, have only got a front ramp, a sharp edge at the front of the pulsar, it wasn't advancing properly. It didn't know quite how to handle it. It seemed to be fine. Then when I was doing some runs, I thought it's not working quite as we expect. Got in touch with Juri at Ignitec, who knows the problem, and he sent us a new setting file for it. So I've put that in, and hopefully we'll have effective ignition advance. Let's see, anything else? Well, yes. Nice little engine that I wanted to put on the video. The Ducati 250 single is well on the way now. The barrel's been repaired. It had 2 broken fins here. That's been off to Russ at Badfoot Customs, who's repaired those for us and even matched the finish as best he can. Wonderful job. Russ always does superb work. Big admirer of his. Crank, primary gear, all loose assembled on this casing at the moment. We were going to put the ignition system on, and then we found out that it wasn't in great shape. But this is what they call a bevel drive engine. That is the drive gear for your camshaft. There's a shaft comes up here to the top end of the engine, which is here, and it sort of comes into here, drives the camshaft, which drives your valves. Anyway, nice little engine that. Really pleased with how it's coming along. It's been a long time waiting for bits and pieces to be done and sorted. And when it goes back together, it'll be a good little runner. Every single bearing and seal in that engine is brand new. The crank's been completely rebuilt by Mr. Lacey. All the bits and pieces we've need have come through what used to be Lacey Ducati. And that's it. So John's off next week. There's the RC30 carburetors just sat there waiting for some jets. Just me and Oscar in. 5 services booked in. 8 bikes to get through in the week, and all these lot to catch up on. So, going to be a hectic one. I'm going to enjoy my weekend off and get ready for it. Have a good weekend, everyone.